yes, I am filming these all together, but it's because I don't want a really, really long video up because y'all won't watch it. I wouldn't want to watch it. I'm trying to keep them under 10 minutes. So this may end up being a couple of videos, more than just 2. I don't know. Anyhow, so my daughter asked, after my daughter said that, she came to me and she's like, Mom, I think it has to do with the fact that your DNA test came back Jewish. And I'm like, well, 5%, that's like 400 years ago. Like, what? And she's like, well, she just told me she wished that the Nazis had succeeded and all the Jews got extinguished. And I was like, whoa. So I messaged the coordinator again. I said, listen, this is what she's saying. This is what happened. And she's like, well, I just think maybe she misstated what she meant. And I'm like, well, can you do a family meeting or something? Because I'm sitting down with her. I'm trying to resolve this, and it's not working. We need a third party to come in and just kind of like lay it out. She's like, well, I'm really, really busy. She just started a travel agency, and she had a full-time job, plus she was doing the coordinating. She's like, I'm really, really busy, but I'll try to figure something out. And she knew what I worked every single day. She knew I worked 45 minutes away. And she chose a day when my husband was home and this girl was home, but I wasn't home. I told her it was the only time she could do it. It's not much of a family meeting when half the family, my daughter was at work and I was at work. Most of the family affected was not even present because she was fine with my husband. She was talking to him left and right because he was like 97% German. So, they were like this, peas in a pod, I mean, sort of peas in a pod. She was talking to him and treating him like a human. And so they talked, and my husband said, really, nothing came out of it. Like, the student kept saying, no, everything's fine. I don't understand what the problem is. And she was asked about making comments against Jews, and she's like, well, my grandmother was anti-Semitic, and my grandmother was a Nazi supporter, and she stated it more like she was just stating was facts, but you don't wish an entire race be annihilated. But anyhow, she said, well, saying in the apparently the coordinator had said something to the fact of, well, you really can't say stuff like that. It's not considered kind, and even if it's something that's accepted in your home, other places might see that as offensive. And she was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do anything like that anymore. And how she was treating us was disgust. Because at that point, she's taking her dinner plate and going like this and pushing it at me. She wouldn't help do chores. She was doing nothing except being on her phone, staying in the room. If I was in the room, she'd get up and walk out. So starting in October, all the way into January, we were trying to resolve this issue. The coordinator called her one time on the phone and came over one time. And when she came over, I think it was November. So the entire month of December, we're still having problems, and I'm calling her, and she's not calling me back. She's not messaging back on Facebook. She's not emailing back. I'm messaging her every possible way I know how to message her, text message, email, Facebook, you name it. I'm messaging this woman, and I'm getting no response. So I messaged her upline, her up person, and that person's like, oh, it's with the holidays and everything, and with her 2 businesses, her full-time job and her business, I'm sure she's super busy. Give her another week to respond. So I do, and I still get nothing. So now we're past New Year's, and I'm like, this is not working. And I messaged the upline again. I'm like, she still hasn't contacted me. I've messaged her 3 more times. She's like, well, you just give her a little bit more time. And I'm like, you know what? No. At this point, if I'm in the living room and the student gets up and leaves the room, I don't want her, we're not supposed to allow her to stay in her room. So I will get up and I will leave the room so she can sit and watch TV. How is that fair to me? Like, how is it okay that I should have to be the one in another room so that I can hear her out here laughing with my husband watching television? This is not a good fit. My husband said he felt bad because he wanted to be back there with me, but she would get up and leave before my kids came in the room, so it was like the only person she could sit and watch TV with was my husband. That was the only person she would do it with. My husband's also not wanting to have any kind of insinuations made, so it was just too much. Just too much. So I finally just contacted the corporate office, and I said, we've been trying since October to make this work. Our coordinator's not supporting us. We've been asking for the student to be rehomed because we started back in December saying we want the student rehomed. This isn't going to work. And finally I said, you know what? I said, we've messaged her multiple times. I've gotten her upline twice. I keep getting told to wait for her to decide to contact me back. But at this point, I'm staying in my room most of the time when she's home because I don't want her to not be able to enjoy herself. But I'm not enjoying my life and my family. And this is not what I signed up for. This is not a good host experience. I don't get paid to take these students. You don't get paid as a host exchange students to host exchange students. You do it for free. So you give them food, a roof over their head. You take them places. If you go out to dinner, you buy their food for the most part. Like, we were putting out money on a child that was literally tormenting me. So I basically told the corporate office, listen, I can't wait anymore for this woman to decide to do her job. If she's not going to come pick up the student, then I'm going to bring the student over to her house because I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I am done. I had just left my job because we were going to be going to foster parenting classes. And my job, I was working 12-hour days, and it was just crazy. They had fired the person I work with, so I was doing two people's jobs. I didn't get a raise. It was insane. Plus, they had changed a few things, so it was whatever. So I left my job by choice because we had the money to go ahead and afford for me to stay home for a little bit until we started doing foster care. And I did. I enjoyed it. It was great. Like, I was doing it. It was fine. Finally, after calling corporate and emailing corporate, the other coordinator said, I'm coming over to pick up the student today. Make sure all of her stuff is packed. I've already told her to get her stuff packed. I mean, the student came in and was like, oh, I really hope I didn't really offend anybody, whatever. And it was obvious because she got outside and my daughter said that the coordinator said to her, well, you need to go inside and say this to them. Oh, I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I really had a good time here and I really wish I could have stayed with your family. No, she didn't. It was all a lie. You don't do what you did to people and treat them as horribly as you treated us. And it just was bad. And so, afterwards, I had asked the agency, I said, is there another coordinator we can go to for future placements? Because we didn't feel supported by this one. I don't think go forward with another placement through this agency if we have to use the same coordinator. And they're like, well, she's really the only one near you. We don't really have another coordinator. Like, all those excuses why if we want to host with them again, we'd have to use the same person. And I mean, it was bad enough that when we were giving people, we were told, oh, no, that's all there is. And I knew there was more students. I was a coordinator for them for a little while. And that's a whole other topic. But we were basically told this is the only students you have for options. And none of them really felt like a good fit. We were kind of pushed into taking one of them because she'd already told them she had all these parents assigned, and I'm a pleaser person, so I was like, we got to pick one. She said there's no others, so I guess. And I mean, all this time we were having all these issues. My original coordinator was in the background helping us, saying, well, try this, try that, try this, try that. And we were trying everything we could. And nobody was more upset than I was that we weren't able to figure out a way to make it work with the student. Because I really try to pride myself in being able to figure out a way to see eye to eye with everybody or get along with everybody. And there was just no way. So we got rid of the student. We had her rehomed. She went and stayed with a friend here in town, and their family hosted her for the remaining time she had. And I assume she had a great time, and that's amazing for her. She isn't a bad person just because she's been taught bad things. So it is what it is, and we moved forward, and we got into foster care, and we did foster care for a year. When the kids moved out to go to China and Colorado, we decided to take a little bit of time off because we had two boys staying with us, and one would end up in the hospital sometimes, so having to figure out what to do with the other child who couldn't be in the hospital with the sick one was, just something we didn't have a plan in place, and we didn't feel right going forward without a plan. So we had made the decision to take a little bit of time off from fostering. And then we were like, we didn't realize until we said goodbye to those boys how hard it was to say goodbye like that. So we kind of decided we aren't sure if we're going back into foster care. Which is, it's whatever. It was harder than we thought and heartbreaking. And yeah, so that's a whole other video. But anyhow, so we decided, you know what? Let's get an exchange student again. That was fun. Let's fill the house up with somebody else. Let's put another person in the house that we can enjoy and learn from and show the world. And so we applied with a new company. We applied with AFS after doing a lot of research on companies. We spoke with the coordinator. She asked us a bunch of questions. We have good credit scores, around 700. We have almost all of our bills paid off. We own our home. We don't rent. We have a good income. We have timeshares. We go on vacation a lot. No background, good background check because there's nothing on it. And that's what we decided to do. So I'm going to actually end this one and do another one and go into the next agency.